weeks later. Back.
Yeah, we're back.
Yeah,
Due to technical difficulties, aka Ash broke his mic.
I did.
We had to not have an episode, but also you guys got to catch up on the Eclipse review, and 200 plus people watch it. Thank you.
Holy fuck. Also, like, someone commented on our video, and I'm just, oh, I'm
Yeah,
gonna ruin, I'm gonna
yeah,
ruin it.
engagement.
I'm gonna
We're gonna blow it.
Yeah, we're gonna blow it big time.
So this is sort of a special little thing because I had to bow out of the second half of the recording of the Eclipse review due to being sick.
Yeah, he got sick.
I was sick during the recording. I must have sounded horrible on that one,
I
like
noticed
playing
it
it
a
back.
tiny bit, but not.
Yeah, but now I'm doing much better. Besides the fact that there is a heat wave going through my state.
Yeah, now it's hot.
Now it's hot, and I
Out.
hate it. I'm feeling like a werewolf in the Twilight series. Speaking of, we're gonna talk about. I guess I'm gonna more talk about the rest of Eclipse.
I,
Kind of
I can try.
going back from where we left off, which was we were learning Jasper's backstory about being a Southern Civil War vampire boy.
We did.
We did. Okay, so in truth, the main crux of what Jasper does after being like turned by Maria, sired, I believe, or embraced, I think. What's the terminology in Vampire the Masquerade again?
Injected their teeth juice into
Yeah, she gave him the venom.
venom.
He
Sired,
basically
I
acts
think?
as, what was that? Okay,
I think
yeah,
it's
it's one of the.
both.
It's kind of interchangeable.
Yeah, it's kind of interchangeable.
But yeah, after being sired by Maria, he basically acts as the trainer for her newborn vampire army that she's using to engage in like vampire civil war down in Texas, like gang wars basically between
Yeah,
other gangs of vampires.
they would do like gang war. Then after a year of the gang wars, kind of cull her own
Yeah,
somehow.
so the idea is that she kills the newborns
Newborn.
after a year because newborn, yes, because they are no longer they no longer have that super vampire strength that newborns have for
Yeah,
some
but
reason in the
now
Twilight
now
universe.
they have regular vampire strength. That's still pretty impressive.
That's the thing. Maria's whole plan here is very short-sighted for so many reasons. One, it probably takes a good like, let's give a low estimate here. Let's say you have to do like 4 months of like combat training for these guys.
Yeah.
Like that's like the most conservative amount I could get. Maybe 2 months is like the shortest amount of turnaround time.
Yeah,
You
like
gotta,
training them up as a vampire, telling them the rules. Also, I assume the fucking Volturi are involved because they had
no, they're
infiltrated.
not involved.
No, I
I'll
mean
explain on
like
that.
in relation of like vampire kind.
Well, yeah, but I mean in that they do get involved, but
You
in
have
a
to.
different
No, I
way.
mean like you have to work around them, that kind of thing.
Oh, Maria didn't teach them that at all.
Oh, really?
No, that's the thing. The Volturi pretty much shut the Southern Vampire Wars the fuck down when they arrive.
God damn it.
Because that's just how that rolls. But yeah, like training and disciplining them, like getting them combat ready, and then you basically got them for like half a year at most, less than a year of service out of them, and then you just kill them off. And
Eh,
also, vampires get unique powers. Not all of them, but they do. That's like
so,
one of the big
sometimes.
sometimes, but that's one of the big advantages the Volturi have is that Arrow was basically cultivating like a group of uniquely powered. He was making his own special vampire X-Men,
He wanted the V-Men.
one of the V-Men.
Yeah.
He wanted special vampires that with like powers that would strengthen them as a collective. So despite yes, yes, V-Men 97. So despite the fact that they have like much less numbers than most like vampire clans. Well, okay, they have about average numbers for a vampire clan. But they fucking control everything with that small group because they are insanely powerful. And
Yeah.
they take advantage of their unique abilities, their gifts. And they pretty much stomp out everyone who is involved in the Southern Vampire Wars. I don't know how Jasper made it out of this alive.
So you think that what would make more sense would be to, like, kind of keep rolling vampires to see what kind of cool powers you can get and keep those.
Keep those. Build up a good skill set. And keep them alive for longer than a year because how the fuck do you like that's an insane amount of turnout, like
That's a
turnout of
higher
vampires.
turnover rate than like most grocery stores, honestly.
Exactly. Really certain McDonald's doesn't go through its employees that quickly.
Well, sometimes you get your 2-week wonders where they show up and then they work and then they quit.
Oh yeah. They want to get that experience and the fucking McDonald's will hire.
Well, it's more like they get hired and then they hate it.
That's true. This is also, I think, about the point where Jackson Rathbone starts trying to put on a Texan accent because
he didn't have one before.
Nobody told him that he was a Texan before now, apparently.
You are Texan. Oh.
Like, no, I guess when you don't have to say a lot, as, like, Jasper didn't have a lot of dialogue, you don't have to focus on
all Jasper
that.
did the last couple of movies is just be in pain and just sort of hang out at the Cullen's house sometimes.
Yeah, he just hung around in pain and tried to attack Bella. He didn't do a lot of talking.
Because of salad, I think.
It wasn't because of salad. The salad was Rosalie broke the salad.
Yeah, you don't make friends with salad.
He attacked Bella because of a paper cut that made her bleed a lot because apparently Bella is some sort of weird hemophiliac.
Which is established in this movie as well.
Yeah, because when she cuts her arm with the rock to to do the thing with the wife.
The third wife. Remember.
Yeah, the third wife doing the third wife thing for Edward. She like gushes out of her arm, and it's like, holy shit, that is a lot of arm blood real fast.
The reason I like you, Bella, is you're kind of like the vampire world equivalent of those Gusher candies. You're just you're just full of blood.
If I eat you, my head becomes a blood orange.
Blood orange. Well, if there was like an AI that could do like Edward from Twilight, but his head is like a watermelon, I would be very
having to teach it. This is how we had to train AI these days. We had to train it so that I can type out Robert Pattinson, but his head is turned into a watermelon like the 90s Gushers commercials.
I'm gonna try it. Okay, let's go.
He's gonna try that and like
I'll do that in the background while you're talking.
Yeah. Trying to remember which AI you're gonna use. It's fucking
well, because Microsoft is forcing things on me like a wife in the 1800s. That was dark.
Oh.
Anyway, I'm gonna
holy
use
shit, actually.
That was dark. I apologize.
I was like, wait, yo, we're not talking about Rosalie's backstory right now. Jesus Christ. I apologize, by the way. That was horrible.
What?
Forcing things upon like a wife of the 1800s, and it's like that was Rosalie, wasn't it?
Oh yeah,
I apologize.
No, that was the 1900s, though.
Oh, that was the 1900s.
Yeah.
God, we're gonna cut like everything out from that section. I know this is gonna be short, but no, not okay with this.
That's staying in because I apologize for it. I'm not gonna edit it more. I don't feel like it.
I'm not okay with this. I'm not okay. I don't remember the dream thing you talked about where Jasper is killing Edward, and Jasper is killing Bella, but Maria is Victoria. Jesus Christ, the heat's already getting to me.
I remember I remember there was like a weird sequence where like it looked like Jasper was attacking Bella. But then when I read the summary, that's what it said happened, and it like everyone started switching positions in her dream, and then she woke up. But it's just
that was in the books.
It's just sort of weird because that just sort of never comes up again.
Yeah, I don't think that was in the books. I feel like that was a thing they put in the script to put something in the movie.
We need things. What do we do?
So to explain what the Volturi want, I don't remember if they actually want Bella. Oh no, they do want Bella because
They want Bella because she's like the human equivalent of like
a
one of those.
Gusher.
Yeah, she's the human equivalent of a Gusher, and also like she's like a ground cable, but for humans because like you can't. None of your vampire powers work on her.
Yes, that's the best analogy ever. That's way better. So yeah, they do want Bella because of her whole ground cable thing, and apparently she's going to be a powerful vampire when she eventually gets turned. But they also do want Edward and Alice because they have mind reading powers and like future vision, even if her future vision is weird at times. Like
Co-pilot's
they
just
want
like try to create that.
co-pilot. Thank you. That's what I was trying to remember.
Yeah.
Folks, it is important to understand our stance on AI right now. Our stance on our AI is that they can be helpful in creative endeavors as sort of like an assistant, as a tool. But mainly, I tend to just use them as shit posting machines.
Yeah, I just use them to do stupid shit, and like I never charge anyone for anything I make. Cause like here's some weird shit I made, like when I made all those cursed Oreo cookies, like
Yes.
beans Oreo.
Oh my god, yes, the various cursed Oreo flavors you made. Let's see, where was I on my notes? Yeah, Bella's probably sticky. It's weird to note this. This is something that definitely appeared in Midnight Sun, but Charlie and Alice have this kind of weird friendship that's kind of going on in the background at times, where it seems like Charlie's just kind of oddly fond of Alice more than any other Cullen. I don't think it's any sort of like romantic thing. I think he's weirdly at ease around Alice and no one else.
Yeah, I think.
Like he slowly warms up to Edward, but then Edward will do a thing and it'll make Charlie upset, and Bella needs to go back to Florida.
Apparently, I can't like ask it to draw Robert Pattinson, even though his head has been replaced with some kind of fruit, like a kid from the Gushers commercials.
I don't know, man.
I
All right.
I don't know under what context this could be used. Like, let's say I make this exploitative commercial, right? Or this exploitative like picture.
Is it arguing on a copyright reason, or is it saying it doesn't meet guidelines?
It doesn't meet guidelines, and the thing is,
do you think it took a sexual connotation out of the word gusher?
Gushers is the candy. I don't know what other thing it could be.
Let's not go there.
I legit don't know.
I feel like I feel like we are alienating enough of our audience with the 1800s thing earlier.
Yeah.
Well, now we can't get rid of it, but I don't think we need to go into the use of the word gush in non guideline approved.
I'm not using the word gush. I'm using the word gushers, like the candy from the 1990s, which is like it's the fucking hexagons and they're kind of stuck together, and then you bite them, and then the gushes, and then it's stuck to your teeth for 6 hours. That's what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about, but
and then the little kid with glasses is like, "Oh, that's a blueberry," and then his head goes, "Blueberry."
It becomes a blueberry. Yes,
Yeah, it becomes That's.
But do you think that the AI understands that, or do you think it just saw the word gush and took it in the wrongest possible direction?
Well, what else am I supposed to do? Fruit roll up?
No, but let's see. Where was it?
Not a gusher.
I don't get it either. The I'm a Virgin scene is like probably one of the very few endearing scenes that we have with Bella, and I just feel bad for Kristen Stewart.
Yeah.
That she doesn't get enough of this.
She's doing well by herself now. It's just this whole movie's just kind of a waste of her time.
I popped for the sister. It wasn't really a Sister Abigail. Like when Esme like holds a vampire like It kind of like forces their knees backwards.
He was like they were like getting set up for the fucking Sister Abigail. They didn't hit it.
They didn't hit it. Instead, like I think Carlisle or Emmett like clotheslined the vampire's head off, but it was just like, man, if they had hit his Sister Abigail, that would have been sick.
If the vampires just started hitting wrestling moves, I'd probably like add 2 to my total rating of the movie out of 10.
Which is currently standing at, I believe, a 3. A 2. I forgot
this one was a 2. Twilight, the original, was like a 4.5. And then the sequel was like a 3. Actually, okay. I think the sequel is worse than one.
The New Moon's a 1 for you?
New Moon's like a 2, and then this one's a 3. How about that?
Okay. All right. I forgot that the Cullens only bought a bed specifically so Bella could sleep in it.
Yeah, that's what they said when she showed up. It's like, I had to go get bed.
Oh my god,
I've never had to pretend I was a human before this, even though I've been alive for a century.
Thank you for reminding me about the stupid fake Victoria mannequin, by the way.
Victoria mannequin.
I also want to confirm that Riley did, in fact, get dragged off by the werewolves, and so he is dead.
Did he just get off-screened by werewolves?
He got off-screened by werewolves.
God, poor guy, rip.
The vampires are highly combustible. I do want to bring up the girl that surrenders and gets killed off by the Volturi.
What happened
like, later on?
What happened with Leah? Because like someone attacked Jacob because they were fighting her or something.
Leah was chasing down a werewolf or a vampire, Leia was chasing down a werewolf, and then Jacob took her spot. Leia was chasing a vampire. Sorry, he's getting to me. And then Jacob like shoved her aside and took her spot and got his ribs crushed by a vampire.
No, he didn't get his ribs crushed. He got his entire right side crushed, according to
his right side of his body got crushed.
According to Carlisle.
According to Carlisle, and they had to set the bones.
I would say he's all right now, but it wasn't his left side that got crushed. So I guess he's all left.
He's all left. But yeah, so the girl that surrenders and then later gets killed, that is I don't think they ever say her name. That is Bree Tanner, a side character who actually got like a lot of positive reception from the books, I guess.
Or maybe, but she didn't do anything. She was like,
or maybe Stephenie Meyer just liked her because she gets a whole spin-off novella for her that I read, kinda.
Yeah, but in this one, she just got fucking like, I give up, and then like, die. No.
Basically, but yeah, I kinda read it, and honestly, when I say I kinda read it, I mean I bought the Kindle edition, I opened it up, and I realized, and I don't know if this is a problem specifically of the Kindle edition. The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner does not have chapters at all. It is just one continuous, like, singular. It's just the story.
Oh, so it's just like it's written like a short story, but not short.
It is written to be kind of in a short story format. I really wish Kindle on desktop would fucking cooperate with me. I don't know why you need to reinstall yourself every time. So I'm gonna give you the page count for this, so you guys can understand why I was not having any of this. Oh god, I'm looking at the next chapter of fucking Breaking Dawn. I need to get back to that.
Well, you got 11 episodes.
I got so many weeks before the first movie.
Yeah. You'll be fine.
It's 182 pages, which isn't as bad.
Unless you got like a gold medal in procrastinating. I don't know.
I have somehow managed to only read one chapter since the Eclipse review, so
nice.
Yeah. To be fair, I've only got it's 31 chapters. I can manage it if I start getting on it. But yeah, so the Short Second Life of Bree Tanner is 182 pages long. It is a novella, but even novellas have chapters, and so I was not gonna, because my way of usually reading is I do a chapter a day. I do little goals. And like if a book has really short chapters, I'll probably do like 2 or 3 in a day if
You'll
I
do like a
can.
double.
I'll double down. And I'd been doing a lot of reading that year. So I was a little annoyed when I thought, oh, okay, I'll go at a chapter a day with this, and then I see it's like, no, you got to read all 120 pages in one go because
Well,
there's no
I would just
stopping
go. I was
points.
gonna say I just go by page count. Maybe do like 10 pages a day or something.
I was not having any of that, so I instead just found I sailed the high seas, found an audiobook edition, and just played that while I played Streets of Rogue for like 2.5 hours, and played it at like 1.5 speed.
Oh,
That was
are
how I
you?
was
I was
doing
gonna
it.
say, are you one of those like 1.5 speed people? Kind of like podcast thing.
I I wasn't, but I started doing it. I started doing it for a very weird reason, or not weird reason, but just kind of when I was watching Monster Madness last year, I just started doing a thing where if I got the Nimble Fingers perk, I would start putting videos at 1.5 speed just as sort of fun. I don't know. Yeah, explaining exactly what started me on the 1.5 shit is gonna be confusing as hell.
So you just pretend you're fast and smart?
I go faster because my fingers go faster now in
But
Streets of Rogue.
your fingers go the same speed.
Well, yeah, no, my fake fingers in Streets of Rogue are faster, so I must go faster.
What happens if I start playing it backwards? Will you start playing backwards?
How does that what?
I don't know. Maybe you got like it
How do
controls
you
your
go
time.
faster in how do you go faster or how do you play backwards on YouTube?
You get a thing that lets you play it backwards. I don't know.
Anyway, so that was a very weird thing that you're more likely to cut that than you are than you are the 1800s thing, huh?
I am saying that men raped women in the 1800s and it wasn't okay.
Jesus Christ.
It's not okay. I'm not advocating for it. I'm not.
I don't need to talk about that in our podcast review of Eclipse or our supplemental review of Eclipse. So,
I
getting let's not
Jasper is a Confederate soldier, and you're mad at me because women's role back in the day, unfairly, was to do the dishes and be a fucking baby pump. Like, and you keep spitting your water.
I need to stop drinking water when you talk because you're just gonna say some unhinged thing.
What is unhinged about feminism?
You're not talking about feminism specifically. You're talking about its lack thereof and the
Yeah,
lack of women's rights back in the 19th century.
yeah, women didn't have a lot of rights in the 19th century, and that's a bad thing.
That is a bad thing, but
you
not the
understand the
time.
concept of a patriarchy?
I do, but I'm saying we should not make light of the patriarchy
I'm
in
not
such a
making
way.
light of it. Microsoft forced itself on me. Like
Oh,
sex, but with AI. What is so hard to understand?
oh my god. Okay. I gotta check. Let's see. I feel like okay. So
Rape is bad. What?
getting back to the point, I just basically burned out the short second life of Bree Tanner in a day, and this is like only the second time I've had to use audiobook to get through a fucking thing.
Don't piss in my
And I
mouth
had
and
to do it
call
with
it pine
Midnight Sun
sol.
too. I had to do it with Midnight Sun too because I remember I got to a chapter that was like 50 pages long, and I said, "Fuck that."
Great.
Last note I have on here is that they probably paid for Vampire Weekend on the soundtrack because they have the name Vampire in it.
And not the name. And not Weekend.
And not The Weekend, who was not yet well, he was a thing.
Well, I think Abel
Kind.
Tesfaye was like an indie musician or something back
He,
then.
he probably had his mixtapes out there
Roaming the
by then.
streets of Canada in him and his hair before he changed it.
Thinking about how he's gonna have a show starring him, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be so successful.
It's gonna be a show with him and Johnny Depp's kid, and it's gonna be great. And they'll have sex on the show, and it'll be a good show. And no one's gonna be mad about it, and especially not him.
He would never be mad about it because it would be a critically acclaimed show with multiple seasons.
Critically
it wouldn't
acclaimed
get canceled.
show with multiple seasons, wouldn't get canceled. Also, everyone likes it and is complimenting him on Twitter, and not he's not upset.
And he's not getting bodied by the Love is War guy's second manga adaptation.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen. That wouldn't happen. That'd be crazy.
He's not mad.
He's not mad.
The Weeknd is not mad.
All right, so now for my overall thoughts on Eclipse. I remember seeing somewhere a long time ago that Stephenie Meyer apparently wanted to go from Twilight to Breaking Dawn, basically. That it was going to be a 2-book thing, but that she had so much more shit to establish before then. So that's where Midnight, New Moon, and Eclipse came from. But Eclipse, I was
going to say, if you feel like you didn't establish enough shit in your book, maybe you should edit your book.
Well, more than that, I guess she meant like expand further on the lore. But even then, it feels like Eclipse does not need to be a part of that. Like, Eclipse feels like a completely extraneous part to all this.
Well, the thing is, it kind of establishes and resolves a threat that doesn't really affect any of the stuff that's been going on, like in the overall. Like,
it's wrapping up a loose end more than anything, and it's one you could have just done off screen because who gives a shit about Victoria?
Yeah, like Victoria lived, and she doesn't like Bella.
And then she makes an army to try and kill Bella, and they lose, and she dies.
And then they fight newborns. They kick the newborns off the cliff, and they win.
Off the cliff. So, like, you could have cut Eclipse entirely out and lost nothing.
You could have a scene where they, like, at the start of fucking Breaking Dawn, they just kill Victoria. It's like, wow, I can't believe I can't believe how hard I can't believe how hard it was to find her.
Because we at most we also tie up the loose end of Jacob being like she chooses Edward over Jacob. She is Team Edward now, but it felt like we were kind of already on that path at the end of New Moon because she's gonna marry. She wants him to marry her.
I don't know, man.
He wants her to marry him. She wants him to turn her.
I don't know, man. Being married is such a commitment that you could undo, unlike being a vampire. But
yeah, so like this is an unnecessary ass movie and an unnecessary book on top of that.
Also, Bella's like 18. Why do you got to get hitched that fucking soon?
Because she doesn't want to get old.
I don't want to get old. It's just like,
dude, I'll be honest. I don't know where the hell Bella gets the idea that like 18 is so great. Honestly, you don't age. Like, I feel like if you do it right, you don't age that badly.
I guess she thinks if you turn 25, you turn to dust or something.
I'm like in my early 30s. I think I remember when I last worked at McDonald's, somebody asked me if I was in the graduating class this year, and I'm like, no. They thought I was a high schooler.
I think because of like medical and like health reasons, I feel like 30 back in the day was older than 30 is like today, right?
Sure, but like life expectancies have gone up.
Except for the part where they went down a little. It's mostly trending up.
It's mostly trending up, but still, it's like you're not even gonna look all that. You're not even gonna have that much wrinkle on you by the time you're in your 30s.
You're not gonna even like get laugh lines until like maybe your late 30s at best, or at worst.
Yeah,
like.
And also, this is all relatively genetic shit. Like, I don't know how I came out still looking as young as I do. I do not take care of myself at all.
I've been working out.
You've been working out.
I feel better than I was when I wasn't working out, but also it's been a lot slower than I've been hoping. But
That's how it is. You just gotta keep up the
I watched
grind.
a YouTube pretty much said that like at it took you as long as it is to your current day to to build that body that you have. So you got to kind of spend just as much to unbuild it, right?
Hmm.
You are a tower of fat, and you got to undo it one Jenga block of fat at a time.
I mean, if I could knock over this Jenga tower of fat, that would actually make things a lot easier. But
I just kick you in the shin and you lose 50 pounds.
right, that
Yeah.
would be. It's more like a Lego tower because it's a lot more sturdy, and you got to undo it one Lego brick at a time.
One weirdly gelatinous Lego brick at a time.
You have they do have like gummy Legos. Anyway, I feel like we have gone so far off the rails here. Let's bring it back to basically Eclipse is the most unnecessary part of the entire franchise. Very little is achieved that wasn't really achieved at the end of like New Moon.
We're
You could
kind of in
easily
the
just
we're kind of in the same position that we were, right?
like you could just kill off Victoria as a cold open to like first chapter cold open for the next book
Like the
and the next
Volturi
movie.
kill her. There you go.
Or the werewolves or the Cullens, just somebody.
Well,
At
she made a
at
lot of
most
enemies, so yeah.
at most you lose Rosalie and Jasper's backstories. But really, like no one else really gets backstories. I know Alice kinda
I
gets a
feel like we
backstory in
could
the books.
lose two Cullens, honestly, and we wouldn't be hurting too bad. If it was
It's
like
not
Carlisle, Jasper, Alice, and Edward, I feel like everyone else is just kind of worthless.
so you're saying just kinda get rid of Rosalie, Emmett, and Esme because they don't matter?
What the fuck do they do? They don't do anything.
We don't even actually learn Emmett's backstory, honestly.
Emmett's just a fucking himbo meathead. I don't know,
I
man.
can tell you this much about Emmett's backstory from the book. I think it's just that all we know is that Rosalie found him after he got attacked by a bear. I don't think we learn anything about what his past life
God,
was like.
I was gonna say I wish he was like fucking Thomas Glass, but no. Fuckers.
Thomas Glass. I'm trying to remember who that is.
He was the dude that they based the Revenant movie off of.
Oh, the Revenant guy. Yes.
Where he got attacked by bears and like his trapping group left him for dead, and he crawled his ass to them like several hundred miles to call them a fucker. It's the best
Not even
thing.
kill them.
No, he just
called
called
them an asshole.
He just called them a fucker and then left.
That would actually be. That would also. Well, damn. So then again, I guess if actually no, if him calling him a fucker would be less redundant as Rosalie killing her fiance and all of his buddies.
It was either Thomas or like Philip. I'm trying to remember the name.
Oh, it was Philip Glass. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Philip Glass just gets eaten by a bear and then crawls through the Canadian wilderness and then gets to the rest of his group and he's just like, "Fuck you guys, you suck.
You left me to die."
Kiss my ass. I'm getting on the horse. I'm gonna go hang out with the natives."
I think that just about covers it as far as discussing Eclipse, honestly.
Yeah, we've eclipsed
And
the
also
review.
like so many other tangents that I was not expecting us to go on this one.
Unfortunately, I'm also here.
So I guess we are a terrifying mix where alone we will struggle to formulate words.
When I'm alone, I talk really slowly. I notice because I'm always trying to articulate what I'm trying to say.
And
Also-
and I have tried to
Also-
solo.
I'm very dry when I'm by myself, which is weird.
I have also noticed that when I try to do solo stuff, I struggle to actually like speak and like kind of articulate myself, and I'm kind of just stumbling, going, hold on, let me check my notes, and it's just like, here I'm just here, but when we're together, it just feels like while we are running the train a lot more smoothly, the train has already flown off the track and is heading down the bridge.
I am multi-track drifting this episode.
We are multi-track drifting here, folks.
That
That should do it. Multi-track drifter. That should
Yeah.
do it.
When we're back, we're gonna do Vampire Diaries.
We're gonna head back into Vampire Diaries. Yay! That'll be
Yay.
so much more fun. Also, I'll try to finish this goddamn Breaking Dawn.
Read, motherfucker, read.
Read. Oh, what do we say to end this thing? Because this is not a standard episode.
I already apologized for everything I said, so hey.
Oh shit. Also, don't forget to follow it. Don't forget to follow us wherever you can find, watch us wherever you find a podcast and on YouTube. And you can find the YouTube is THI Ashe. Make sure to do not include an S at the end of THI. It's not this Ashe.
This is Ashe.
And also we have our Tumblrs, Ashe Nightshade and Megafighter Free for free.
Maybe I should have recorded while I was high, actually.
Wait, you're not high?
No, I am.
Oh, okay.
Would explain a lot. That's for sure.
Explain where we went here. So yeah.
Rape is bad. I've never.
Oh my god.
I'm not defending it.
Oh my god, please. Please just end the episode.
Don't rape. The end.
Please stop.